Hi everyone, let's talk about Endangered, which again is on Kickstarter right now, link in the description to the campaign page, and if you're wondering where the game and everything is, I just did a full playthrough for it, and that's in the description as well, and you can watch that if you want to find out more about the game. What do I think about it though? I really love this. I am definitely biased towards co-op games in general, but I love the theme of it, I love the nature of us having these decks, and we are kind of building our own worker placement spots, really, based on the needs of the game. Based on some of it's based on the characters that you're getting. You have specific cards, a few of them, but a lot of them are the same. And so, yeah, if you get a load of persistent impact straight away, then you are going to really hope for cards that get rid of those or mitigate the specific effects that they're having. If they're putting a lot of deforestation, then you're going to really want to try and go heavy into getting rid of those tiles, or to trying to keep repopulating the tigers, keep making more mating pairs so that you can try and keep the population going. I like the overall, yeah, so I mentioned that in the theme. I like that everything kind of comes off this theme as well. That's the overarching goal of the game is to not just, try and hold back the deforestation, try and keep as many tigers alive as you can, but also that we are doing this and at the same time trying to appeal to the leaders of these countries. They're going to be different every time, and that they're going to want different things, and that, yeah, just at face value, it is just that, okay, have this many cubes, have this many cards, have this much money. But it's a nice addition to the theme as well, that they're kind of wanting you to do things. It's Mexico wants you to have a load of money. They want to see that there's a load of money already invested in this project for them to say yes and want to come in on it as well. China wants to see that you have got the population to a decent rate, have raised it to a certain point, or Canada wants to see that you have got all of these people out doing actions, that you have got all of these powers and things in play to show that you're really being proactive about it. And yeah, it's at the same time it's gonna make the goals of each game quite different as well, and it's thematic as well in the actions that you're doing, in the threat cards that come out as well. They all have a little bit of flavor text on how they relate to real life disasters, like having poaching or the extra deforestation stuff. That there are little facts there about how the population of the tigers is being ruined, because this is a thing that's happening in real life as well, which it gives it a bit of an extra tinge that well, not that pandemic that pandemics don't happen in real life. But yeah, it is very heartbreaking when you have to lose any of the tigers, and it's got a really nice flow to the game. That it is very claustrophobic. The way that you're getting new tigers, great, but you're also increasing the deforestation every turn as well. And if you watch the playthrough, you do get this feeling of the tigers ending up being closed in by this. You can't completely hold back the deforestation. Maybe if we put more and more actions that relate to it, or have different characters as well, because they have different cards and special powers, but you can't hold it back completely, and so you just have to, like in any good co-op game, you can never have that much control over it. You are just trying to stay above water all the time while the game pelts you with stuff, and it's not one of those games where it just feels like you are circling the drain and just desperately trying to survive. You are getting good things done, but you do have to make those tough decisions. Your instinct is probably, at first, I want to get as many tigers out. I don't want any tigers to be lost. Okay, there's risk of deforestation. I want to stop the tigers being lost at all costs and keep their habitat intact. But that's not just what the game's about. And probably, I can only imagine, but it's probably the kind of decisions that go into the conservation efforts, that as much as you want to save individual animals, that it's also about the bigger picture of trying to get the support of much bigger fish, because in the short term you of course want to save all of those animals, but in the long term, having all of the money and influence and power of these nations is going to work out far better for the species in the long run. And yeah, I just really like the feeling of that. That's, yeah, it does feel like, it does feel heartbreaking that you are letting all of these tigers die, but you are doing your best. You're doing everything that you can every round to try and achieve everything. And as always, you can't achieve everything at once, and you have to kind of prioritize what you need to do right now, what the persistent threats are that build up as well. The persistent impacts are a nice system that they can, and there's not really much you can do about this. You can say the same about Pandemic or a ton of other co-ops in the way that the decks come out. You know, if, say, the persistent impacts come out and they are negative effects that are going to trigger every time you draw a tiger sighting card. And so, for example, if you happen to draw a load of tiger sighting cards, they just happen to be at the top of the deck before those persistent impacts come out, you know, the deck might get reshuffled and come back around again. But yeah, you're going to have an easier time if that comes out. But you know, generally in our experience, it's been quite a nice mix of the persistent impacts gradually building up and then the tiger sightings setting them off quite often. But yeah, you've got plenty of different characters, choice of whether you want to be male or female. It's just a cosmetic thing. The powers are separate cards that you choose at the start of the game. And yeah, I haven't really got much more to say about it than that. It looks beautiful, but you can see that. You don't need me to say that, do you? Look at it. Look at that cover. How could you say no to that game? But that's up to you. I'm not trying to influence you. Well, directly anyway. There's a playthrough. I'm knocking boxes over. Hopefully, I have done enough to maybe pique your interest into Endangered, but if not, I appreciate that you've watched this far. Watch some of the other hundreds of videos that I've done. Yes, over this side is the other hundreds of videos. Thanks for watching this one though, and I'll see you for the next one. Bye everyone.